Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to a mental break. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to any new subscribers that have come along. Thank you. I'm trucking along slowly, but we're moving. Um, Let me see. You guys see the thumbnail. I'm just going to jump right into it. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I hope everyone was safe. And now it's countdown to Christmas, y'all, and New Year. So let's just jump right into this video. If you haven't been watching Later Dater on Netflix, it is worth watching. This is a dating show that actually is refreshing. When I say refreshing, I'm sick of Married at First Sight, Love is Blind. This dating one is a little bit more, it's interesting, it's funny. You want to see the outcome, and it seems to be real. I think that's what I'm more so want to say. It's see, even though this is considered a reality show, it the everyone seems everyday and real. And I love the people that are on here. I have some concerns and we will get to that. But if you haven't been watching it, please start looking at it. I'm on episode 4. I'm not finished the series. I wanted to get on here and do a brief video on what I've seen so far. Because, like I said, here at a mental break, we take viral things because this Later Dater show, they've been talking a lot about it on Twitter. So let's talk about it. Now, we're going to start with Nate because I think Nate was the first one they pulled out the gate. Nate, I'm not liking. I'm not liking Nate, y'all, and let me tell you why. Nate is ex-military. Nate was married for 16 years. He says he has two daughters. Now, he has a daughter by a woman he went to college with. And they seem to have like a really good friendship because on the show, she's like the supportive person on the show. You on the show, the people on here, their children usually participate, but in Nate's case, his oldest daughter mother is participating. I have not seen either one of his daughters so far. Now I don't know if they're going to make an appearance later, but so far that they haven't. And it seems to me that the oldest child's mother, I think she still likes him, and because I picked up on some little subtleties. I think if he wanted to be with her, he could, but she doesn't. But he don't want to be with her. I can see that. I think she wants to be with him. But besides that, Nate, the object of this show, for those who don't know, this show is for people that are over 50 that are trying to get back there on the dating scene. I think the youngest person on here might be about 55, I think. And their ages range from like 55 to 70. And everyone involved on this show looks relatively good. Everyone appears to be in good shape. The women are attractive. The men are well groomed. They have, from what they're saying, they have these good occupations. A really good background. So the contestants on here, or the people participating rather, it seems like they come from some great backgrounds. A lot of these people have very nice homes. They have beautiful homes, and so that's basically what this show is about. And quite a few of the women, there were a couple women that were widowed, and the other women were divorced or either just haven't been married. Now, let me go back to Nate again. I don't like Nate. Okay. The first date that Nate went on, I forgot the woman's name because I don't know if she comes back again, but she was a very attractive woman. Very attractive. As the red pill community like to say, she was feminine, fit, and friendly, and they seemed to be, having a nice date and everything was fine. So he asked her when they were at the table, does she believe in God? And she was like, oh yes. And she, did like this little thing, like she's checking off a box. You know how you do check off of a box. So, she did that. And then, he held her hand and prayed, before they ate anything. So everything seemed to be going good. Then at the end of the date, he asked her for a selfie. So she was trying to figure out, why would you ask? She said, why are you asking for a selfie? I've never heard of that on a first date. So he said he wanted to commemorate the date in case they go out on, so when they go out on a second date, he has a picture from their first date. So she agreed to it and she took the picture. Well, child, after the date, this fool says, oh, she's a nice lady, this and that, but I don't think I'm gonna go out with her because, I'm not a religious person. I'm spiritual, and she's probably the type that'll have me in church every Sunday. Not once did that woman say anything about being in church every Sunday. All that woman did say was she believed in God and that God was first in her life. That's all she said. God is first in my life, and I'm not sitting in church every damn Sunday. So, he was just a fool to me. Like, I don't know why. I think I know why he didn't like that lady, and I'll get to that later because I want this season to play out. But I think I know why he didn't like her because there was no reason for him not to. She was very nice, pretty, friendly, no issues. I'm trying to figure out what was his problem. Okay, that date was over. On to the next one. He went out on a date with Anise. Now, Anise is another person on the show that's trying to match you. Now, I don't understand why they had a niece and this man go on a date because I thought each person would get their own dates where they're not dating, other people from the show. Like it's other people coming in. So a niece went on a date with this man, and you know, um, I'm going to focus on Nate right now because I get to a niece later. But he went on a date with the niece, and everything was pleasant and fine. And niece enjoyed herself because again, Nate is not he's not my cup of tea. He's not an unattractive man, but he's just a man that I wouldn't gravitate to. And maybe I say that because of the way that he acts. So now his attraction level for me, the physical attraction went down because of the way that he acts. Because once I see somebody act simple, you no longer look good to me. So I'm not saying that Nate is this like fine man, but he's not a bad looking man, but he could be more attractive if he was a better type of man. I'll say that. So he has to he tells now with a niece, he goes on a date and everything is fine. And then at the end of the date, he tells his oldest child's mother, I think her name is Michelle. I can't remember, I think it's Michelle. And he tells her, "Oh, she was a like nice lady and all, but I don't want to date her anymore because I wouldn't date her again, excuse me, because he's 55 or 56 and she's 62." And he said that she was too old for him. And then he made the comment, yeah, because as you get older, things break down. Okay, now, let me just say this. This man came out of his mouth and said, as you get older, things break down, referring to a niece because she's older. This man is sitting on this Netflix show he's on date number one, two, three. He's on date number three, telling this woman how he felt, how he jumped out of an airplane because he was in the military. He was a paratrooper, whatever they are, and he jumped out of an airplane and hurt his back. He fell wrong, broke some vertebrae in his back and his knee. So he's not able to like run, hike, and all these kind of things. Anise is 62 years old and very fit. This woman mountain climbs and she's very outdoorsy. She exercises, she jogs. So if you want to be technical, Nate, if I would ever look at you in your face, if you want to get technical, you gonna break down before her because she don't have no broken bones. So I don't know what you talking about. So that's why I say he's a fool. He didn't want her. See, he was finding things wrong with people. He didn't like the first one because he said she thinks he gonna have her in church, which she never said it. He didn't like a niece because he said she was too old and things start breaking down. Now we get to the third one, which is I think her name is. Let me see. I wrote it down. No, 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 no. Lisa, I think her name is. Yeah, I think her name is Lisa. So Lisa, this is the third date. Now, I'm only describing this woman because I'm going to be for those who haven't seen the show. I'm only mentioning what these women look like because I have a point to drive home with it. The first woman Nate went out with, she was a light. These people are black. Okay, The first woman that Nate went out with was a light skinned woman with long hair that was her natural hair. She was a thin woman, tall. She was a nice height. Very attractive woman, nothing wrong with her. That was the first woman. The second woman, which was a niece, she was brown skinned, with she had like a little bob wig on that was cute, but she's like a darker skinned woman. And a niece dresses like she shops at Forever 21 and she's 62, 63 years old, but we'll get to that later. Uh the first woman came dressed appropriately. She just had on, a beautiful dress. I mean, I think she had on a dress or a skirt and a top or whatever, but she had on some heels. She looked pretty. Now, here comes Lisa. Lisa is a fair, light skinned woman, long hair. She came with some sort of bustier top on with the boobs hanging out, even though she had a suit jacket on, and I believe she had a pair of slacks on. Very distinct makeup. Her makeup was not subtle. It was very strong, like the red lip, the dark eyeliner. Like her makeup was very distinct. She wasn't an unattractive woman, but what it was is that he lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw her. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because Nate is a colorist. Because when he was with the brown skinned woman, she too old. When he was with the other woman, now the other woman was light skinned, but she wasn't as light as this here woman, Lisa. She was a little darker than her. This woman is more fair skinned, light skinned with the long hair. He's a colorist because he lit right up. Now, how I'm gonna say he's a colorist because I got more. Listen, they were talking and they were talking about children, and he was saying that because this is another reason why I don't like Nate. um that he has two daughters, and he was saying that his oldest daughter went away to college and something happened and she couldn't stay. So he told her that she couldn't come back and stay with him and that she couldn't go with her mother. I think that's wrong. She's a girl, like a young lady. You don't well, he said she went into the military because she couldn't come back home. And bad idea. That's something because you just had your daughter make a decision that she might not have made if she would have came home. So if anything happens to her in the military, that's your fault. Because I would have never told my children they couldn't come back home. When especially a child that's in college. We all know in today's society, those that are parents or those of us that have older children, children that are over 18, these kids are out here struggling now. They're struggling. So I know my daughter is, I'm helping her. I help my son sometimes. I help my kids. They're not living with me, but due to this economy, they need my help sometimes. And I help my children in different ways. As far as my son is concerned, I buy my grandson a lot of things that he need to take that load off of my son that he doesn't have to put out all the money for, because my grandson is a toddler. He's constantly growing. So I help with clothes and shoes and coats and Christmas and birthdays and all of that. I help in a big way. And that helps them not having to spend so much money on clothes. So, I help my son that way. And my daughter, whenever she comes up short, I always help her. So, it is what it is. But the point I'm making is that for Nate to say he don't, your daughter couldn't come home, I think that's horrible. Now, let me get back to what he said to her. She said both her children are home living with her, son and a daughter, and they in their 30s. So he looked, and then when you know how they do like a confessional, like when they on these shows when they go off to the side and ask them a question and they talk. Well, he off to the side talk about something. Well, that was a small red flag for me because I don't like dating women with children at home, but she's saying they're going to leave soon and they're older. So, if we're going to continue, it'll be fine. No, you only saying that because of the way that woman looked. You don't even know that woman. All you see is light skin and boobs hanging out and long hair and a bunch of makeup in your face. And nothing she do is wrong. Everything is out the window. That's why I said, child, these men is retarded. Anyway, let me stop using the word retarded. That's not good to use the word, a word to use, excuse me. These men are just unhinged. He's also, ex-military. I can't. Pam is the next one I'm going to talk about. Pam is 70 years old. I like Pam. Pam is a flake, okay? But she's the type of flake I like. Her background, she was a flight attendant for Warren Buffett's company for years. So she got stories for days. Her husband was some sort of, I think he was a guitar player or a drummer or something, but he played with, like, she has plaques and stuff with the Beatles and that whole rock era. She was a part of that, and she has plenty of stories. And she was married twice, and she really has a color. It sounds like she has a colorful life, and I would love to sit and talk to her. I love people like that have experienced things that's really not a part of my world, but I would love to hear somebody else's experience with that. That's always been like very interesting to me. So, but Pam messed up the first date. Child, she went on the first date because she said she hasn't been on a date. I think she said in 20 years. I think either 10. I think it was 10. I think she said 10 years. And she went on the first date and she talked so much. The man was like, "Are you going to ask me anything? Do you know anything about me?" So the first date was a flop. But her second date was pretty good. I like Pam. I want to see how that goes with her. I pretty much like all the women on here, really. Suzanne, I love, 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 love Suzanne. Suzanne is a little quirky too, but I like her. She has personality. She's like bubbly. She got the wild hair. I just love how she just carries herself. She's just so funny. The only thing I don't like about Suzanne is that she's holding on to her past. When I say holding on to her past, the men that she's dating now, oh, they got the love, the football team wherever they live at or whatever. If they not that, then she don't want to be with them. It's like, hey, come on, because her and her husband were into that. You can't do that. When you're going on to a new chapter in your life, you can't make the new man be the old man. It don't work that way. But I like Suzanne. I want to see where it goes. I think the guy that she met, the first date was she liked the guy, but she wanted to see who else was out there. And the second guy she likes. So I want to see how that goes. He likes her and she likes him. So I want to see how that goes. Now, Anise, let me get to this woman. Lord Jesus. Anise is 62 or 63 or something like that. This woman dressed looks like she buys her clothes from Forever 21. Now, I know she doesn't buy them from Forever 21 because she doesn't she doesn't dress tacky. She doesn't. It's not tacky. What it is that she wears things that are too revealing for her age. Anise has a nice body. Oh, she has a great body. I hope I could have a body like that at her age, okay? So she has a great body. However, she wears clothes that an Instagram model would wear. And when men see her, because the first date she went on, the man told her she couldn't have no bread. That man was nuts. Y'all gotta watch this. If y'all ain't seen it, y'all gotta watch it. The first man told her she couldn't have no bread. He was helping her. Then he told her, yeah, she asked him, do you live in Atlanta? He said, no, I'm from Chattanooga, but I fuck in Atlanta. I fuck around in Atlanta. She was like, excuse me? He was like, oh, I hang around Atlanta. And then when he was drinking a drink, he said, my bed ain't never empty. I said, what this man? And she said, excuse me? I said, what this man just say? Did this man just say his bed ain't ever empty? Child, I'd have ran out of there so damn fast. That man, oh, I don't know who let him out. I, child, that man is unhinged, and I'm scared. Y'all women in Atlanta need to look at that man. That man is unhinged, child. Something wrong with him. Cause how you go on a first date and say something like that to a woman? That oh my God, that was horrible. And then when he walked her to her Uber, he touching her all like he was touching her like on her waist, but he was touching her at the bottom of her waist, like at the top of her butt. He was trying to catch a feel, child. That man is creepy and crazy. But I like Adise though. I like her. She's put well together. She's an attractive woman. She has a lot going on. It's just she got to turn down on the clothes shop because it's nothing wrong with being sexy. It's nothing wrong. Cause she had on this one dress where it just covered her behind, the skirt. It would have looked much nicer if it would have, she could have just had it a little, it could have been right above her knees. The outfit she had on was nice. All she had to do was just have it go to above her knees. It was too short for you to be 62 years old. So that's the only thing about Anise. But other than that, I like her. And I believe the last woman's name is Lori, if I'm not mistaken. This is another older woman with wears glasses. She has a behave. She's a behavioral coach, and then she also does media in Atlanta. I forgot what they said she did, but I know that she's around like local celebrities in Atlanta, and she I like Lori. I think with Lori, because she was a single mom and she had to do everything, and she reminds me of me somewhat, not fully, because Lori doesn't know how to back up and stop being so masculine. Because even when she went on the first date with the guy, the way she was talking to him, that's she has to learn how to pull it back and not just be so aggressive, because she's aggressive. Like she said to him, like he was talking to her and she was like, "Why are you looking over there?" And he was like, "Well, I just look around when I talk." Stuff like stuff like that. Like if I'm on a first date and a man keeps looking everywhere but looking at me and talking, I'm not going to say nothing because he's just not for me. I don't like men that just sit there and look all around the room. So I'm not going to do all that. Like as women, we I'm not saying you can't say things. I think that with Lori, because Lori has more masculine energy than feminine energy. And that's just it. Even in the way that she dresses, she comes off as hard. And they have a dating coach on here. Her name I think is Lori, and she was trying to tell her that she needs to soften her look and soften herself some, and she said she wasn't going to. She told her that she wasn't changing her glasses. She likes her glasses, and I get what the woman said. Her glasses are not like you could wear the glasses every day. I'm not saying that the glasses were bad, but the glasses were black and they were big, and they, it just looked too hard. I think she could get glasses that make her look softer than what she does, and I don't think she was catching that. So that's why I said I'm curious on how the rest of this show goes, because there's still other people that have to go on dates and they still have to finish. I just wanted to put this video up because I want you guys to start watching it, because I'm going to come back and when I finish the series and do like a full video after that on it, because so I can get down more, because I need to know more about Nate. I need to know more about these people, and the only way I'm gonna know is to keep watching and to see what turns up. So I'll be back, guys. I hope you guys are watching it. I saw Wicked, and I'm going to be doing a video on Wicked. That's the next one to come up, because I saw Wicked over the Thanksgiving break. So I'll be back with that. If you guys haven't seen Wicked and you plan to go, I hope you go soon, because my review is going up soon, because I got some stuff with that. I got to get my notes together. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one, and I'll be back.